1992 might not have been a bad year for most, but for one family, it was truly one to forget. The phrase Annus Horribilis, Latin for horrible year, was famously used by Queen Elizabeth II during her Ruby Jubilee speech in 1992 to describe a particularly turbulent period of her reign. Delivered at London's Guildhall, the speech marked 40 years on the throne, but acknowledged the difficulties of a year fraught with personal and public challenges. Now, if you're new to the channel, please don't forget to like the video and of course subscribe. And when you've watched it, leave a comment below. I'm always curious to read your thoughts. So without further ado, let's get right into this week's episode about the year the British monarchy almost fell into a new era of self-destruction. In 1992, we saw the breakdown of three royal marriages: Prince Charles and Princess Diana, Prince Andrew and Sarah Ferguson, and Princess Anne and Mark Phillips. The media frenzy surrounding these separations cast a shadow over the monarchy's image. Adding to this strain, a devastating fire at Windsor Castle, one of the Queen's official residences, caused extensive damage and led to contentious debates over who should fund the repairs. Beyond the royal family's trials, the wider world grappled with political and economic uncertainties, which only amplified the year's unrest. By candidly reflecting on these difficulties, Queen demonstrated her resilience and ability to connect with the public. Her use of Annus Horribilis has since become shorthand for a year marked by personal and professional hardship, a reminder of the challenges even the monarchy cannot escape. Queen Elizabeth II famously described 1992 as a horrible year during a speech marking her Ruby Jubilee. Reflecting on her 40th year as monarch, she noted, "1992 is not a year which I shall look back with undiluted pleasure." The phrase captured the cascade of personal and public challenges that shook the Queen and the monarchy. The media dubbed the bitter conflicts as the War of the Walesers, with leaked tapes and tell-all books exposing sordid details of their extramarital affairs. Prince Andrew and Sarah, Duchess of York, initially appeared to enjoy a happy marriage, sharing two daughters, Beatrice and Eugenie, while projecting a united front in the late 1980s. Sarah's warm and approachable demeanour contrasted with royal formalities, earning public affection. However, Andrew's military commitments and relentless tabloid scrutiny strained their relationship. The couple announced an amicable separation on the 19th of March, 1992. Later that year, scandal erupted when tabloids published compromising photos of Sarah with John Bryan, dashing any hopes of a reconciliation. Yet despite their divorce in May 1996, Andrew later praised Sarah for their successful co-parenting and continued an amicable relationship. Next up was Princess Anne, who had met Mark Phillips, a lieutenant in the 1st Queen's Dragoon Guards in 1968, at a horse lovers' party. Their engagement was announced in May 1973, and they married on the 14th of November that year in a televised Westminster Abbey ceremony watched by 100 million people. Settling at Gatcombe Park, the couple had two children, Peter and Zara, who were born without titles due to Philip's declining an earldom. But by 1989 they announced their separation amidst rumours of infidelity, although this initially ruled out divorce. However, Anne filed for this in April 1992 and finalised it just 10 days later. The family now faced unprecedented challenges, ranging from royal scandals to a devastating fire at Windsor Castle, which tested public loyalty and the institution's resilience. One of the year's most damaging blows came from Andrew Morton's bombshell biography, Diana, A True Story. It revealed Princess Diana's mental health struggles, bulimia, and Prince Charles' affair with Camilla Parker Bowles. The revelations shattered the mystique of the monarchy, exposing the human flaws behind the crown. Diana's secret collaboration with Morton added to the intrigue, deepened the public's fascination with the monarchy's inner turmoil. The tabloid frenzy escalated with Squidgygate and Camillagate, leaked phone conversations that laid bare the private lives of Charles and Diana. Full of intimate and embarrassing details, the tapes turned the royal family into fodder for ridicule and left Charles's credibility as future king in doubt. The Queen and Prince Philip attempted to mediate between Charles and Diana, urging reconciliation, but their efforts were unsuccessful. Philip expressed disappointment in their extramarital affairs through letters encouraging Diana to consider Charles's perspective. While Diana reportedly found the letters difficult, she acknowledged Philip's good intentions. Opinions on their relationship varied, with some claiming tension and others noting no signs of discord in their correspondence. But once again, scandal deepened when intimate tapes surfaced. Diana's conversation with James Gilbey in August 1992 and Charles's exchange with Camilla Parker Bowles in November. By December, Prime Minister John Major had announced their amicable separation in Parliament. So what else could go wrong in this year that was already on record as the worst in the Queen's reign? On the 20th of November 1992, Windsor Castle was engulfed in a devastating fire that raged for 15 hours, severely damaging the upper ward. The blaze began in the private chapel, where a spotlight ignited a curtain by the altar during renovations. The fire quickly spread, destroying 9 principal staterooms and damaging over 100 others. Firefighters worked tirelessly to contain the flames, while staff rescued valuable artworks. Fortunately, many rooms near the fire had been emptied for renovations, aiding the preservation of much of the collection. But the incident marked one of the most significant challenges in the castle's modern history. The castle was one of the Queen's most cherished homes, yet the fire raged, causing millions of pounds worth of damage. The event reignited criticism over the monarchy's financial dependence on taxpayers. Public outrage grew, and Prime Minister John Major suggested state funding for repairs. Public discontent simmered, with critics like MP Dennis Skinner decrying the monarchy's relevance amid growing scrutiny of its expenses. But for Elizabeth, 1992 tested her resilience, offering a painful reminder of the Crown's heavy burden in an era of unrelenting public scrutiny. In a swift response, the Queen agreed to modernise royal finances. She opened Buckingham Palace to tourists, began paying income tax, and reduced the number of royals receiving public funding. And these moves demonstrated her adaptability and effort to align the monarchy with contemporary expectations. For the Queen, 1992 was a humbling year that tested her resolve and reshaped the monarchy's relationship with the public. It was a year of lessons learned and etched them in the annals of royal history. Queen Elizabeth II's Annus Horribilis speech gracefully and humbly reflected on her challenging 40th year on the throne. She appealed for compassion, reminding her audience that scrutiny of institutions, though inevitable, should be tempered with gentleness, good humour and understanding. And she emphasised unity as part of the nation's shared fabric. Despite the challenges of the year, the royal family's reputation endured, though later controversies, such as Harry's royal exit in 2020, proved more divisive. In response to shifting public attitudes, senior royals formed the Way Ahead group, modernising the monarchy's approach. The institution weathered significant crises, including Diana's tragic death in 1997, yet Queen Elizabeth II remained a steadfast figure, maintaining high public approval until her passing, September 8, 2022. Although Elizabeth began her reign as a distant institution, it evolved into a practical one, judged by its contributions to public service and community unity. As of 2021, Queen Elizabeth II ranked as the third most admired woman globally, according to the annual Gallup poll. With 52 appearances, she held the record for the most top 10 placements of any woman in the poll's history, reflecting her enduring influence and widespread respect over decades.